Welcome to another edition of Small Cap Power Discussions. I'm your host, Jim Gordon, and joining us today, a guest I always enjoy having here in the discussion group. He is the Chief Executive and Chief Investment Officer at U.S. Global Investors, which specializes in natural resources and emerging markets investing. He is also an author, The Gold Watcher, Demystifying Gold Investing. He contributes to publications, websites. You can also check out his ongoing investment blog, Frank Talk. Always a great pleasure to have Frank Holmes. Frank, welcome to Small Cap Power Discussions.
It's great to be with you, and thank you for your very kind words.
Oh, you're quite welcome, sir. As I always like to say, we talk 3 or 4 times a year. I can't wait to do it in person. I think that'll be sooner rather than later, but it's great to have you regardless. Lots that I want to get with you today, Frank, in the limited time we have. Let's jump right in with Hive blockchain technology and some great news, which came about on Thursday, July 1st.
Well, we're listed here in July 1st, Canada Day. We're listed on NASDAQ, which I'm very thrilled about because we were the first crypto public mining company. And we were also the ones with a real well-defined ESG strategy. Being a fund manager, I understood the importance of that, and because for other funds and our resource funds. And two is that we did 2 major acquisitions during COVID in Canada for that green energy. We mine, and Ethereum and Bitcoin were the only company that's mining both and putting them on our balance sheet. And we did an acquisition for 30 megawatts in Lachute in Quebec. And recently we completed 50 megawatts of energy in New Brunswick, going to go to 70 megawatts. So it's all great.
Frank, just along those lines, reading here that you were recently asked to represent Hive on the Bitcoin Mining Council, a group established by the help of Michael Sayer. Should check out, and we'll have the link right up here on the screen, Hive Blockchain and Green Energy Mining on YouTube. Check that out for sure. Frank, let's talk a bit about the airline industry. I was going back over my notes of the last 2 or 3 discussions we've had in this Small Cap Power Discussions. Even at the darkest times a year ago, I always liked hearing your optimism about the airline industry. Here we are, things seem to be going in the direction you predicted a year ago and last fall. Let's talk a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Well, cheers to the millennials, because they got it and Warren Buffett didn't. It's almost a year ago that he made the announcement that he blew out billions of dollars with the airlines, and he's now left tens of billions of dollars of gains off the table. What we do know is that last year, this time when we spoke, you could get data on Robinhood. They stopped in August of 2020, but they were giving you data of how many people were buying into the Jets Airlines ETF. And 25,000 of them bought it around $12 a share, and it doubled. It went to 28. Buffett's wrong, they're right. So price discovery by young investors who are much more savvy than when I first got in this business, and how they use the internet in the digital world. They were also very big into Hive very early. You can just see the small ticks, and what happens is that in the ecosystem of trading, when you have minnows, you attract groupers and tunas and sharks and whales. You get the institutional. So the Jets ETF went from 40 million to 4 billion. It went from trading 40,000 shares a day to 8 million shares a day. And that's all ignited from these clever, smart millennials that said on every global crisis, airlines fall 60 to 70%. A year later, they're up 80 to 120%. Well, they've been right. And what's different on this sort of journey is vaccines. It's highly correlated to vaccines. So as more and more people are getting vaccinated in America, the TSA publishes every day how many people they clear, and the data point was pre-COVID, 2.7 billion people flew a day they cleared. It fell to 90,000 people in April of 2020, and now it's back to 2 million. So we still have Canada actually really open up. Europe is sort of schizophrenic in opening up, but it's in motion. Asia, well, I think in the next year we can have another 30 to 60% rise in the airlines industry because they have huge government support. They've all been ready to fly. And did you know that there's been more new airline companies created and gone public than went bankrupt?
Yeah, Frank, you mentioned some of the countries, including my own here in Canada with the borders. Also, another holdout is business travel. What do you hear? What are your thoughts on business travel? Are we looking late summer, early fall for that really to get back to where it was, or even close pre-COVID?
it's a data point on vaccines. So when you get 70 to 80% of the people double vaccinated, business travel will come back, and it is coming back now. But nothing like tourism. The guy that created WestJet also created JetBlue. Now he's come out with Breeze. So Breeze is basically taking people and tourists. The pent-up demand for Canadians to be able to go south is huge. Well, that's been happening in Pennsylvania, Illinois, Indiana, Montana, all flying south. So they have all these new paths. JetBlue is going to start flying from New York to San Antonio. They're going to hit all these small cities in the south because people want to get to the south. So I think that that's a really interesting phenomenon that's taken place. All the airlines have adapted and adjusted themselves. They're more fuel efficient. The airplanes have flown now. They're spotless. They're clean. People are, if they have any type of bad behavior, they're out. They're thrown out. You have to be super polite. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Type of, this is how they're functioning. So it's a joyful experience to fly. The airports are cleaner than most, I would say, restaurants, like spotlessly clean.
Hey, we should mention a couple of interesting articles related to what we're talking about here. US Global ETFs.com for more information on that. Hey, Frank, want to wrap up with some chat on US Global Investors, please?
US Global Investors, well, we're a public company. Ticker is GROW. And we own Jets and GoAU, as you can see, when we talk about the world of gold. Both are quant approach to picking stocks. And we're extremely profitable. We trade at 3 times earnings. So when you back in that we own 10 million shares of Hive, plus we own these other assets, it's a great little gem. And we also publish 100,000 readers to 80 countries. Our weekly usfunds.com blog, the Frank Talk, as you mentioned. So I think we're very busy with that. And we've got a hot new product coming out, really can't talk about yet. It's a new ETF that no one's in that space, and the wind is hitting the sail for the next several years. I'm very excited about because it ties into resources and the airlines industry.
Frank, it's always a great pleasure to talk to you, even when it's brief. We appreciate your insight. It's Frank Holmes, usfunds.com, by the way, and check out Frank Talk for more of what's going on and thoughts from Frank, as always. Frank, thank you for joining us here on Small Cap Power Discussions. We greatly appreciate your time.
Wheels up. Canada wheels up. Everyone's got
I expect to see you in this city of ours sometime this year, and always a great pleasure talking to you. Hey, don't forget to check out Small Cap Power videos on YouTube at smallcappower.com. And again, talking to Frank Holmes, Chief Executive, Chief Investment Officer at US Global Investors. I'm Jim Gordon. Thank you for watching Small Cap Power Discussions.